The scene opened with somber music playing softly in the background, accompanied by heavy breathing. A baby cooed gently, followed by a light chuckle. The narration then shifted to a reflection on the significance of the Fantastic Four within Marvel. It was emphasized that the Fantastic Four embodied the essence of Marvel. This connection had been somewhat overshadowed in the past 15 years by the focus on the Marvel Cinematic Universe, starting with Iron Man. The Fantastic Four were credited with launching what was widely recognized and beloved as Marvel Comics. The narration revealed that in 1961, Marvel Comics was on the brink of bankruptcy. As a last-ditch effort, creators Jack Kirby and Stan Lee conceived a new concept. They believed it was their final chance to do something unique and create relatable heroes characters possessing human flaws and struggles rather than godlike powers. This approach ignited a lasting passion for the Fantastic Four that endures to this day. The filmmaking process was described as beginning long before cameras rolled, with casting a critical element of Marvel Studios' success. The choice of actors was key to whether the film would work, with the studio's first significant casting decision being Robert Downey Jr. The chemistry among the four leads for the Fantastic Four project was highlighted as essential, with excitement building when the cast assembled, suggesting the dynamic among the actors would make the film successful. The focus was on Reed Richards, the complex character who was a scientist dedicated to his work, deeply loving his family, though often struggling to express his emotions. The portrayal aimed to capture these many layers: intelligence, emotional depth, and a sense of responsibility. His ability to stretch himself metaphorically and physically represented his extensive efforts to protect and fight for his loved ones. The casting choices for the team were praised, with particular attention to the talents of Ebon Moss-Bachrach, Vanessa Kirby, and Joseph Quinn. Vanessa Kirby's portrayal of Sue Storm was regarded as inspiring. She was depicted as a strong and unique leader of the Future Foundation, a global organization striving for unity. Her powers, starting with invisibility and extending to force fields and offensive capabilities, made her a formidable and essential member of the group who also held the team together. Joe Quinn's character, Johnny Storm, brought a vibrant energy, combining cocky humor with vulnerability, portraying a young man seeking love and understanding amidst extraordinary circumstances. Ebon Moss-Bachrach's portrayal of Ben Grimm, the Thing, was noted for its soulful depth. Ben was powerful but also tender and romantic, grappling with his monstrous form and emotional complexities, embodying a deeply human character beneath the surface. The cast's dynamic was described as a chosen family, creating a rare, soulful bond akin to that of siblings, spouses, and lifelong friends. This familial connection added an exceptional quality to the filming experience and the storytelling. As the narration concluded, it celebrated the team as more than just the Fantastic Four. With the addition of Franklin, they were the Fantastic Five, a group admired and appreciated for their heroism and unity, and cheered on with enthusiasm. The Fantastic Four were created in the 1960s, during the space race, a period marked by optimism and fascination with space exploration. This era, closely associated with figures like JFK, inspired the setting, which is deeply embedded in the comic's DNA. The creators decided to set the story in their own stylized version of the 60s, a retro-future world that blends familiar elements with innovative twists. The production embraced the comic spirit directly, enlisting artists, storytellers, and filmmakers to bring the vision to life. Kazra, known for the production design of Loki Seasons 1 and 2, was responsible for crafting the retro-futuristic aesthetic of New York City and the wider world in this project. The story's timeline and location strike a balance between being instantly recognizable and refreshingly original. The character Reed Richards was imagined as a combination of Steve Jobs and Einstein, whose influence on technology transformed the city. If he were born in 1930, his impact would be evident only after 1950, making earlier designs identical to the real world. After this point, technological advances signal his influence through futuristic innovations, such as flying robots, turbine-powered monorails, and flying cars. The early stages of production faced challenges under Matt Shakman's leadership, who encouraged pushing practical effects to the limit. A painstakingly detailed Times Square was built to showcase a mid-century retro-futuristic New York, combining authentic period locations with imaginative elements like a UFO-shaped diner. The set decoration was meticulously crafted to appear realistic from any angle, anticipating the possibility of cameras inside shops, enhancing the sense of immersion. Yancey Street contrasted Times Square, representing a classic New York neighborhood largely untouched by futuristic influences, a place of community reflecting diverse cultural elements such as Jewish bakeries, synagogues, Italian barbers, Puerto Rican delis, and trendy record stores. This grounded setting reinforced the normalcy that characters like Ben feel upon returning home home, emphasizing familiarity amid change. The Baxter Building, located on Manhattan's East Side, housed the Future Foundation and featured an adventurous and ambitious space launch pad over the East River. Its retro-futuristic rocket launcher evoked the grandeur of Cape Canaveral, with crowds gathering to watch launches. The building's structure included an assembly hall at its base, multiple administrative floors, scientific laboratories under Reed Richards' direction, and his personal lab at the top. The laboratory was organized into 3 zones: a red area for hands-on prototype work, a yellow zone designed for thought and discussion, and a blue mission control area. This set was handcrafted primarily by the model-making department, who worked late into the night to finish it, creating a convincing environment that enhanced the believability of the fantasy world. The Baxter apartment posed design challenges, featuring a large floating fireplace and a sunken seating area that was particularly well-liked. The kitchen of the future included elements such as a revolving fridge, loaded with period-specific American products, highlighting attention to detail and creativity. A practical robot, HERBIE, was brought to life through the work of the special effects team. Multiple robotic versions were operated by effects artists and puppeteers, becoming a significant on-set presence that interacted with the cast. The puppeteer, Jack, contributed humor and emotional nuance, blending robotic logic with human feeling, which deepened the character's integration into scenes. Matt Shackman favored using filmmaking techniques proper to the 1960s, seeking realism where extensive visual effects were involved. A miniature model of the Excelsior spaceship was crafted at 1/30th scale, measuring over 13 feet in length. Made with fiberglass, aluminum, and 3D printed parts, it featured detailed panel lines, rivets, vents, and engines, and was suitable for close-up shots, embodying the era's retro-futuristic style. Design continuity extended from the Baxter apartment through the building, the lab, the Fantasticar, and the Excelsior spaceship, all imagined as works of Reed Richards. The Fantasticar was designed as a functional convertible car capable of flying and transforming, inspired by concept cars of the time. The intricate design required compromises to achieve a flat floor and unique seating, supported by structural solutions managed by special effects. The canopy and doors of the car opened sequentially through a motion control computer due to their overlapping design. 2 cars were built, one with a 200-horsepower front-wheel drive electric system and a second with a 500-horsepower rear-wheel drive system to meet the demands of action sequences. The vehicles were mounted on large gimbals to realistically simulate flight movements. Debates around flying cars culminated with the skies belonging to the Fantastic Four, reinforcing their unique presence. The production team demonstrated exceptional virtuosity in creating this world, balancing a grand visual vision with minuscule details. The era felt both familiar and otherworldly, allowing audiences to connect with the character's essence while immersing in a speculative future. The film explored themes of humanity and dreaming beyond geopolitical constraints, embodying science fiction's power to envision a better future. The scene begins with Ben informing Johnny that his girlfriend has returned. Tense music underscores the moment, accompanied by the sound of electricity crackling, signaling a technical issue that is soon assured to be fixed. The environment hums with the chirping of a device or creature, and an echoing voice questions whether the characters are the protectors of the world. They affirm their role, only to be told that their planet is now marked for death as emotionally soft music plays. Tim Lewis reflects on the decision to set the film in the 1960s, inspired by the era of early Fantastic Four comics, which guided the choice of villains and enemies to feature. An echoing voice of Galactus states that he hungers, emphasizing his enormous size and the importance of capturing his scale, a challenge that filmmakers approached practically. Ralph Ineson's performance as Galactus was crucial, and his casting was praised for its effectiveness. His voice was envisioned to sound ancient and unspoken for millions of years, with the actor employing yogic breathing techniques to mimic the creature's vast lungs and power. Filmmakers drew inspiration from natural disasters like tsunamis, tornadoes, and whales to envision what such a massive being's breath might do. The narrative explores the concept of Galactus wielding power capable of destroying everything, with the costume designed to reflect this monumental presence. The costume was one of the most complex pieces the team had created, with intricate, tiny details that would appear realistic even when scaled up to enormous size. Ralph Ineson found the costume surprisingly comfortable, despite its weight, enabling him to perform his role well. The process of developing the Mole Man's character involved grounding him in realism. His costume was designed to appear lived in, with a sense of age and history conveyed through its smell, feel, and look, embodying a character who is disgruntled and grounded rather than showy. Actor Paul Walter Hauser found the costume particularly fulfilling as it reflected a sense of insecurity and a desire to feel heroic despite not being a superhero. The film also features scenes shot in a real mine in Derbyshire, which proved challenging to transform into a convincing setting. The crew's work in dressing the mine created a compelling environment that looked authentic, not like a manufactured set. The actor portraying the Mole Man enjoyed his costume, especially the gloves and makeshift cape, which felt genuine and added depth to his character. It was a costume that felt lived in, aiding his performance. Shalabal, as portrayed by Julia Garner, is introduced as a Silver Surfer-like figure. The casting sought versatile actors capable of embodying multiple roles, with Garner stepping into a role that demanded both theatricality and restraint. Garner's first appearance was on a towering lift in Times Square, where she seamlessly took command in front of a large crowd, marking her first day on set with a memorable, impactful debut. The motion capture experience was new to Garner, who found it unusual but appreciated the freedom from daily costume and makeup routines. The process was akin to theater, requiring constant alertness because the camera and performance are always in the actor's focus, even off-camera. Vanessa Kirby admired Julia Garner's depth of emotion and her portrayal of sacrifice for her family, highlighting how, like others, her character is motivated by love and protection. Meanwhile, Ryan Meinerding discussed the technical challenges of designing the Silver Surfer's appearance, focusing on his form, surface quality, and reflective properties. The goal was to balance his ancient, tarnished look with a sense of realism, making him feel timeless without appearing broken or diseased. The process of designing the character involved meticulous attention to detail, aiming to make him appear as a vessel of age and experience. Collaboration led to the creation of the costume, which introduced a new level of realism and depth. The team practiced running simulations of the character's movements, with the dialogue implying that each adjustment brought them closer to visual perfection. The narrative emphasizes the opportunity to bring beloved characters from the page to life, resonating with longtime fans. It celebrates an optimistic vision of unity and hope, especially when worlds are under threat. The film offers a refreshing perspective, emphasizing collective strength and the importance of coming together in the face of danger, culminating in a melodic fade-out of the soundtrack.